All right. And we are live. Hey, hello, UT family. Hello, Tom. Are you new here, Tom? I don't think I have seen you before, but glad to have all of you guys here. So, today. There's a typo in the title. I did not know that. I need to fix that then. Content. Okay, so basically how this is going to work is I'm doing a bit of a giveaway tonight, where I basically have prepared a whole bunch of Pokemon. Ah, there it is. I basically have given away. I basically have a massive overstock of a crap. Hey, UT family, welcome. Have I seen you before? Yeah, you've been here before. Basically, I have like this absolutely massive, just absurd number of Pokemon that I bred for, and I need to put that below the chat box. There we go. Basically, I have like this absolutely ridiculous overstock of Pokemon that I got from just breeding and just making things for stuff. And I thought, you know what? I don't really need all these bottle caps. I don't really need all these just everything. So I'm doing a whole bunch of giveaways for everyone. And yes, actually, trade is exactly what we're going to be doing. Link trade. Set. Yeah, I have set my thing. So the code for the night is, as always, going to be the same 11928, as you can see from the thing, but I'm going to just get it in there. Code 192837446. So that's going to be the code for tonight. And you can get as many of these, as many of these things as you want. Just like if you've gotten like a bunch of them, just like be respectful to everyone else and not, just hogging a whole bunch of them. 2837746. All right, first one up. Whoever wants to be trade first, you can have the thing. And I'll be going in a bit of random order for what I'm actually trading when. It's not just going to be I'm going to go straight across the box. Actually, okay, that's a lie. No, you cannot breed Ditto with a Ditto. However, I will actually show you where I go to get all the Ditto, because there's a raid den here that everything you get from it is just a Ditto, or, it's like a Blissey or a Chansey, and it's actually really, really, really amazing, because pretty much everything has, like, ridiculously good, it has, like, I think that they're guaranteed, if they're, like, 4-star or 4 or 5-star raids, they're all guaranteed to have, I think, 4 IVs, and I've gotten a bunch of them off them that have, like, 5 IVs. And again, I'm going to be giving some of those away. So, whoever would like to be our first trade partner, they will be up first tonight, and a trade partner has been found. I don't want anything in particular in return. You guys can just send me whatever. It's likely going to be deleted afterwards, like if it's... I mean, like, don't trade me anything too good, because I have everything in the game right now. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of all that you do online with Pokemon is that Luke Chang. Trade. Hello, UT family. Glad to see you got the first. So, first trade of the night. Gold bottle cap. Bulbasaur. Everything here I have actually gotten, and I have bred myself, I have caught myself, the bottle caps, gold bottle caps, ability patches, ability capsules, all of those things I got myself by doing Dynamax adventures, by doing the online battles in the Battle Stadium to get to Master Ball rank in previous seasons. All this stuff is legitimately obtained. The reason why I have to specify that is because, one, there are hackers that actually exist, and second, I absolutely despise hackers and want to kick their teeth in if I find them. Thank you very much for the Kanga. I can't. I need to make this a little bigger because I can't read that. Control. Bigger. Well, here's the thing. The reason why they had to do that, Luke Cheng, is specifically because it does cost a lot of money to to keep those servers up and running. And the reason why they have the pay to access online is because it actually does like cost a lot of money to keep those servers up and running. Them like doing it free for a long time was okay, we're going to use like a cut of we're going to be using the profits from the games to be funding that. And now it's it's got to a point where it is costing too much to essentially run them that way. And because again, Nintendo never had you pay for online in any of its previous system, and that's the thing that everyone has to remember. Every other gaming system made you pay for any online feature whatsoever. Who got connected? But yeah, it's like every other gaming system, they had the online system, the online services. You had to pay for them from the get-go. You just couldn't do anything online without them. Nintendo never did that. Nintendo only introduced the idea of, okay, well, you need to pay for online until right now, and that's, that's one of the reasons why, like, the idea of them doing this makes a bit more sense. Like, it's something that, in truth, was kind of coming for a long time. The idea of, well, we need to have the customers pay for more, because the online for the Switch, it isn't just online for Pokemon. Like, that's the big thing. It isn't just, okay, you're paying for online to use Pokemon online. You are paying to have access to, like, Smash Online, to have access to Mario Kart Online. It's basically every single thing. It's a lot like many other game systems that have an online feature, except like Nintendo just did it a lot later because they kind of didn't want to do it right from the start. Like, they kind of didn't want to do it, but now it's kind of gotten to the point where they kind of have to. Not that they have to, but now it's the amount of money required to sustain those servers is increasing a lot more, and it's not going to be able to, essentially, because of the way that the money works, they kind of need to start doing that now. So, yeah, like, we do kind of, the thing is, we as players have benefited from them not doing that in the past, and so we kind of want it to be that way. But the way that Nintendo has been doing it is actually, like, not the way that most game developers do. So it's one of the reasons why I kind of think it's a bit better that they do it this way, because then maybe they have to, lower the price of their games, or lower the price of their games, lower the price of their systems, because that was where a lot of the money for those things came from. It came from, okay, buying the system, buying the games, all of that fed into it, so maybe now it's going to be, cheaper. But yeah, if anyone wants, anything, you can just punch in the code. It's pinned there. It is, if you watch, shown on screen. You can, anyone can go in, but, if only, like, one person's doing it, please, just don't, like, hog everything. Bishop berries. So yeah, we're pretty much just going to be doing this for a while. If you have any friends, you want to just say, oh yeah, here, pop in this thing and, grab a thing, that'd be great. But yeah, that's the thing. It's really just going to be, I have a bunch of stuff to give away, and that is all. Depending on how long and how much we actually do get rid of, I may do, like, a part 2 to this at some point. Like, I mean, of course, there's probably going to be, like, multiple parts, but if we don't really get, say, enough of them worked through, and we only do maybe, like, say, 8 trades tonight, because we just don't have people that show up, we're we're not really going to be doing these on stream. I'm probably going to do it off screen. Muggleberry. Quit. But yeah, so if you guys, want anyone to, come in, anyone who might be interested in, yeah, tell them. Because, also, I will be showing, how to do a bunch of stuff. Because, when we get to the Pharisee, when we actually get to trading those, I have a story for how long it actually took me to get those. Because those things took for frickin' ever to get the first time. The first 0 speed and properly egg-moved Pharisee I got took me about 3 hours of chain breeding to get. Just because that is how annoying it was to breed everything down. Not exactly fun. And it's one of the reasons why I am doing this. Because it's just gratuitous to have to spend that long, and especially for people who aren't, sure if they want to even do competitive stuff. It's a bit much to ask, for them, hey, can you spend 3 hours? I mean, granted, Pharisee and getting, a properly IV bred, EV, spread Pharisee, Ferrothorn, I guess, with knockoff and leech seed. All that is probably going to be one of the most intensive, breed checks to do. You will likely need to chain breed down a bunch of Pokemon, so it will take, of course, longer. But, I mean, if you just happen to have, oh, here's a Ferrosid, I caught that as 0 speed. Okay, well, that's good. You're pretty much 90% of the way there, because it's not that hard to actually, when you have that, to then get the egg move stuff like that, because especially with Shield and Sword, where you don't actually need to breed to get the egg moves, it's on the species, where if you just have a Pharisee, and you have 2 Pharisee, well, one has the egg move, one doesn't, just make an open move slot, put them in the nursery together, and boom, it'll teach it how to use the egg move. You won't have to actually hatch a new one, so it's just actually freaking amazing. But yeah, it's because the way that I had to do mine was I had a male Frillish that had 0 speed. So it was female Frillish with 0 speed. So then I needed, okay, well, I have a Ferroseed I know that I need, and I have a Frillish that I need because of 0 speed. I have to look for, on the egg move charts, what is a Pokemon that overlaps both of them. And it turned out, after about half an hour, 45 minutes of searching through all of the things, I looked simultaneously in the both of their egg move lists, and it came down to, okay, well, I know that Galarian Yamask is a compatible Pokemon with both of them. Okay, well, now I gotta get a male Frillish, which, surprisingly, for a Pokemon that has a 50-50 gender ratio, took me about 8 eggs to get. It was kind of ridiculous. So then, okay, boom, got my male Frillish with 0 speed. Because I used the Power Anklet or the Power Brace, whichever one it is that breeds speed, use that, bred down the speed, boom, got a 0 speed Frillish male. Then, from there, I used because I had a male Galarian Yamask, and I needed a female Galarian Yamask. So, bred that, took 5 or 6 eggs, get a female Galarian Yamask. Boom, okay. Female Galarian Yamask, male Frillish with 0 speed. Transfers down, 0 speed on the next Galarian Yamask. So, then I needed, okay, now I need to get a male Galarian Yamask, which took for freaking ever to get itself. Then, okay, finally, got my male Galarian Yamask with 0 speed. Now, transfer that onto a Ferroseed, because I already had a 0 speed Ferrothorn, so okay, that's covered. Boom, now I got my 0 speed Ferrothorn. That is half of it. That was half of the chain breeding. Now, I needed to get a Leech Seed Roselia, breed that to get a Fair Seed, that had Leech Seed. Didn't matter about the EVs, or didn't matter about the IVs. Then, from there, breed a Grookey with a Ferroseed, or Ferrothorn, to get a knockoff Ferrothorn, knockoff Ferroseed. Then, I had to put those two separate Ferroseed independently in the nursery with my 0-speed Ferroseed. Now, I have my knockoff 0-speed Leech Seed Ferrothorn. And that all took about 2.5 to 3 hours. It's an undertaking. Free for anyone who wants to trade on home because they're not online. Online and home doesn't depend on online? Odd. I didn't realize that. That's weird. That's very weird. But yeah, like it took for freaking ever, but here's the thing, that Ferroseed is probably going to be the most intensive breed ject ever. Like, that's probably going to be the most intensive it actually requires, because you actually don't really need 0 speed for a lot of things, mostly because bottle caps exist now. Anything can be taken, and because of bottle caps, actually because of gold bottle caps, because you can actually turn 3 regular bottle caps into a gold bottle cap using the Crymomatic, use that, boom, immediately turn it into a, high quality, competitive grade Pokemon, because now you just have perfect IVs and everything. And now, because of course the changes to vitamins, you can of course get it ready EV'd in competitive in 10 seconds flat. It's so good. It's like, you can basically just get competitive stuff ready so quickly, and the only thing that's annoying really are egg moves and like 0-speed Pokemon, and 0-speed Pokemon are really only necessary when it comes to doubles, because you're not doing Trick Room in singles. You don't do Trick Room singles. So, really, all things considered, the idea of really having to, spend hours and hours on a single Pokemon is kind of gone unless you're playing doubles, and even then, it's only if you're doing a Trick Room team, which is good, because, like, the ability patch, okay, to grind the Dynite ore for the ability patch is not great. I have chain bred 2 times, and that was for Azumarill in Diamond and Pearl, Ice Punch, yeah. But here's the thing, I mean, when it comes to the things in, like, yeah, but in those games, it was honestly probably a lot easier to do. It was probably a lot easier to do back in Diamond and Pearl, mostly because, like, it's only a single Pokemon you had to chain breed down. Like, you don't have to chain breed down, like, multiple species. You have to chain breed across multiple species. Yeah, it's definitely annoying, but it's a lot easier, because, I mean, just to look at the amount of things I had to do for the Ferroseed, first of all, I had to breed for a female Frillish. No, female Frillish. I had a female Frillish I needed to breed for a male, so a male Frillish I needed. Then, I needed to breed for a female Galarian Yamask. So that's 2 right there. Then I needed to breed for a male Galarian Yamask with the proper, with the proper speed. Hey, Ewan, how you doing? Because I need to breed for the male Galarian Yamask with the right speed. So that's 3 right there. Then I needed to breed with the Ferrothorn, so the 4th is the Ferrothorn. Then I needed to breed the Ferroseed with the Roselia, Roserade, whatever it was, to get Sleep Powder, so that's 5th Pokemon. Then I needed to breed the knockoff Grookey line to get the knockoff Ferroseed. So that is 6 Pokemon. you had to breed on its own. And it actually took a lot more. It took like 7 or 8 on multiple steps to actually get the one I needed. For some bizarre reason of luck just wanted to utterly shaft me, and I had to basically get like 20 Pokemon before I could actually complete the entire chain breeding fiasco. And yeah, like, just when you leave all that aside and you really only look at, not having to combine multiple egg moves from multiple different evolution lines with, speed EVs across multiple Pokemon lines, and it's just, okay, well, I just want to breed down a specific move. That just makes it so quick. It really makes it ridiculously quick. And yeah, it'll definitely not be the quickest thing in the world, but it's a lot quicker than across multiple species. I wasn't. My Medicham forgot Ice Punch when I was breeding with it. And I didn't have another heart scale because you can't get. Really? You can't get heart scales in normal Diamond and Pearl? I thought that it was you could get them in the underground. I thought you could just, like, print them en masse in the underground. No, you have to breed. You can only get egg moves from the same species. So, if you have a Ferroseed with knockoff and one that doesn't, you can put them in the daycare, like the nursery, that it's the daycare. You can put them in the nursery, and then it transfers the egg move over between them. However, for breeding from species, so like a Leech Seed Roserade onto the Ferroseed, you do actually have to breed the egg moves for that. You can't just put them in the nursery together and it teaches that. You have to do the you have to actually do the egg moves for that step. Okay, so that makes sense. You didn't want to do the underground. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I love the underground. The underground was my favorite thing about Sinnoh, and I remember by the time I beat my copy of Diamond, I had something like 160 hours in that game, because I just spent so much time just digging in the underground. It was so fun. I loved it. It was so great. Like, I am so glad they never brought the underground back in a different Pokemon game, just because it would have really ruined how just magical of a time that was. Like, it was a great mechanic. Just fun nonsense. You can use it to get a little bit ahead if you're lucky, or you can just spend hours grinding for, the right items, or you can just go without it. It was such a great thing. It makes things a little easier, but it's helpful. It's a great thing. I have extremely fond memories of the underground. And I'm so glad they're bringing it back, because it was such a great time, just having fun digging in the underground. It was a simple pleasure. Who the heck pinged me? Oh. Just got a notification from someone else watching going live. Okay, not bad. But yeah, so pretty much all we're going to be doing is just, doing more of these giveaway things. And if you want to log in, do a trade on this thing, you can get it. Anyone can pretty much get as many as they want. You just, like, not all at one time. Because, again, this idea is supposed to be a giveaway. But, yeah, everything is holding, like, bottle caps, gold bottle caps, ability patches, like, all these really, really good competitive things just to help, people get ready for competitive. But also, because you did participate in the battle thing for Ultra Series, you do get, like, free pick of, like, whatever thing you want with whatever item you want. And let's go get the rest of our apricorns for the day, because I really do love the apricorns. Like, collecting apricorns for me is extremely therapeutic. I don't know, I just enjoy it. It's a great thing I do generally, like, before I go to bed, where I just go run around the entirety of the Isle of Armor and run on the entirety of the Crown Tundra, just collecting every apricorn that I can. Because it's a therapeutic thing for me. It's very therapeutic. Collecting all of my apricorns, collecting all the apricorns. Gonna grind them down into Pokeballs, because I want the apricorns. Favorite singles format, none of them. That mostly because like I know that when singles is generally brought up, it's like it's almost exclusively Smogon, but I prefer the like the battle facility rules of Pokemon, like bring 3 Pokemon, and it's that because the idea of a 6 full battle is ridiculously stally. It's ridiculously stally. It's way too easily abused into becoming stall, and just the idea of 3 Pokemon restricted are just not allowed. Like box out legendaries are not allowed. Mythicals are not allowed. And of course no legacy moves are allowed. Like that is in my opinion the ideal singles format. That is the ideal singles format for me. It's that's why I like that one. Well, the thing is, even in the games, they don't do 6v6. Like, even in the game, like, 6v6 isn't a thing. It is fun because I love doing Gen 7. Anything goes. Team specifically counter Eevee. I use Hard Swap. Oh my gosh, that is brilliant. That is actually freaking brilliant. Lagging Tail Hard Swap Manaphy. I respect it. I mean, the thing is, Eevee is a gimmick. Evo Boost Eevee is a complete and absolute gimmick. It's like, yeah, it's a neat idea, except it doesn't actually work because Eevee is such a terrible Pokemon. It doesn't have the even with the Evo Boost doubling its stats, it doesn't have the natural defenses to take any hit without something like Friend Guard buffing it. Like even with maxed out HP, maxed out defenses, it's still something that has like base 60s and less defenses. It can't take a hit at all. And I know it's like, okay, you max out like the speed or whatever it is, so you go last or something like that, or like you'll try to survive a hit, then you immediately just baton pass it into something else. Like, okay, sure, it's a neat idea. The problem is you're relying on an Eevee, a Pokemon which is garbage. And I know those are fighting words for you, Ewan. I know those are fighting words. But they are fact words. They are very much fact words. Because like I mean, if there was a 6v6 format where it was like you have a battle clock that is perma-active, you have 45 seconds to make your decisions, and you have like overall X amount of time, like to do your entire battle total. Okay, that I'm okay with. But it's just like when stall battles happen where you have entire teams where the entire point is residual rack up damage from things like entry hazards or toxic stalling or just things like that, that's where I go from, okay, this is just not even fun, because at that point, if your whole strategy of damage is based on I am taking out percentile damage from your health every single turn, you're not playing. You're literally just playing waste turns. You're just playing a game of wasting turns because everything always deals the same percentage of damage. Everything always uses the same, everything basically deals the same amount of damage. Everything deals, there's no variation. If everything always deals, toxic damage, does the same amount of damage every single turn. Well, here's the thing. Taunt can't fix everything with stall. Like, it can't stop every single thing of stall. I use Self Smash Suckle with Eject Pack to... You know what, Ewan? That's actually a legitimately awesome strat. I actually really like that tech. That's actually really cool tech. The thing is, you use that on me. Like, I remember you used that on me in one of our battles we did on stream, I'm pretty sure, a while ago, and I destroyed it. It was the same one as when you use like the full copycat Misty Explosion team, which I respect. Because the whole point of them is to just die. Yeah, it's like, I universally prefer doubles. Universally, I would say doubles is the superior format, and not even because, like, oh, I like doubles more, I just think doubles is better. It's because in doubles, you can do so much bizarre things. With singles, stall will essentially always dominate because of how broken stall is. When the idea is to, you know, outlast the opponent, all you have to do is boost your defenses and boost your HP sky high, give yourself as many recovery items and just as many recovery moves as possible. Use Legacy Toxic from Gen 7 and earlier with entry hazards, just entry hazards with, Whirlwind, Roar, all those things like that to just keep them at a revolving door of you have to keep switching out, switching in. You're not battling at that point. You are literally just taking out percentages of HP every single turn, and the variation from battle to battle is almost negligible. You're literally playing a waiting game. And for me, like, that is not battling. That is a waiting game, and that is, like, the complete opposite of what Pokemon should be. I must agree that, with that. I used to love Toxapex as a Pokemon. Yeah, it's like, that is not fun. That is not reacting, counter-reacting, anticipating your opponent. It's literally you sitting there clicking a button over and over again and just brainlessly clicking. With doubles, there is so much stuff that is going on every single turn. Like, you have 4 Pokemon individually making their own moves. The opposing team can make so many possible plays any single turn that you always have to basically keep that. You always have to be kept on your toes. You always have to be kept, just thinking, what are they going to do? Anticipate, predict. Anticipate, predict, react. And just all that. You don't have that with singles, because singles is a much slower paced. But yeah, like doubles has more gimmicks. But the thing is, the gimmicks doubles has are what makes it fun. Doubles, what makes doubles fun are all the gimmicks. Like, you can have Tailwind teams, Trick Room teams, Weather teams. Just, there's so much you can do in doubles. Like, I remember my Gravity Speed Swap Aggron with Head Smash. Like, you can't do crap like that in singles. It's one of the reasons why, like I say, singles is the worst format, because there's so many things you simply are not able to do because the mechanics of singles are so inflexible. You can't do Trick Room or Tailwind in singles because the number of turns that they last just don't last long enough. You can do, screens in singles, but screens in singles are pretty much meant for stalling anyway. Whereas in doubles, they're meant for letting your attacker survive an extra hit or two to just translate more aggressive power. You're doing similar things for very different reasons. It's one of the reasons why I again say it's a much, much better format, because the amount of things you can do are so much more varied and so much more interesting. And it's not even me like, getting an ego head over, all singles is worse than doubles and supremacy. No, like, it's basically goes down to the amount of bizarre jank you can do in doubles is actually meta. Like, that's the thing about doubles I really like so much, is that meta doubles, like doubles meta, can be very easily disrupted by bizarre jank tech. Like, bizarre janky things can easily destroy many of the meta heaviest hitters because there is so much jank that exists, and the interactions between a partner supporter and a mainline attacker or a disruptor can be so varied. Like, you can have a Pokemon whose whole purpose is just spread status. Okay, well, you pair that up with an unconventional attacker, now you've got a pretty powerful fighting force. My favorite double team to use on random online, 6 Pokemon not Switch V6. is Shuckle, Tapu Fini, Grimmsnarl, Shedinja, Ruinrigus, and Alchemy. Is this a Misty Explosion team? Because I swear to God, if this is a Misty Explosion team, I will find you, Ewan, and I will smack you. Because that is beautiful. That is beautiful right there. Oh, come on. Freaking Nidoran. Oh my gosh, yes. Sturdy Shedinja. Oh my gosh, this is brilliance. That is actual brilliance. I love it. The other thing you gotta watch out for is weather, and also you have to watch out for a little thing that's called Mold Breaker. Oh my gosh, Swagger Misty Terrain. I love the Swagger Misty Terrain things. I love those. Of course, it's Physical Finny. Physical Finny. You, sir, are a bizarre, bizarre man, and I have to respect it. I have to respect the Physical Finny. Like, thing is, I don't get why you don't just do Flatter. Like, you don't just use Flatter on Finny instead of Swagger, because Flatter boosts your special attack. Just like, why not just use Flatter at that point? Why not just use Flatter? And you are a heat-proof Bronzong. You are a Bronzong that is proofed of heat. However, your boosting your physical defense ain't gonna matter because I'm hitting you with a special move. Heat Wave! Freaking love Volcarona, such a great Pokemon. So what's the held item that the this degenerate Shedinja has? Like, I'm assuming it's gonna be Sash, or is it the goggles, the safety goggles? Is that what it is? Physical is more meme. Fair enough. It was like, is the safety goggles? Is that what it is? The thing that prevents you from weather damage? Yeah, those things. Yeah, safety goggles. Is that what it is? Because like that makes sense. Because like, okay, you're immune to status conditions, and well, you're mostly immune to status conditions. I mean, again, if they remove the terrain, then you're screwed. But I mean, really, your only problem at that point is Mold Breaker. Like at that point, it's only Mold Breaker, which is your problem. And I mean, granted, also Moongeist Beam and Sunsteel Strike are your only problems at that point. Which, I mean, not really the biggest problems. Really aren't the biggest problems because, like, you're not likely to run into those. You're not really likely to run into those. And, I mean, Mold Breaker, I guess, can be a problem also like Terrorbolt and Turbo Blaze, because, again, like, those nullify your abilities. But, yeah, it's respectable. Very, very, very respectable. So, while we actually wait for our next person to come in, like, yeah, you can see I bred a lot of Pokemon, and also I have sorted everything out. You know what? We're not really doing anything, so I'm gonna go beat up on some things, because I'm gonna be shiny hunting at some point. And when I'm shiny hunting at some point, I would very much like to already be well prepared. And also, yeah, this is my my playthrough team. My Groot the Corviknight, Groot the Rillaboom, Frostmoth, Dragapult, Duraludon, Dreadnought, and Corviknight. That was my playthrough team. I loved it. It was a fantastic team. I still say I will. Thing is, this is actually gonna be a bit of a controversial thing going forward, because like I'm actually planning on like a video in the future of like for some things with basically like analyzing the difficulty of the Pokemon games, and there's definitely gonna be some controversial comments made in those videos, because I know a lot of people don't like to say, well, oh, this game is so hard because this thing. Well, no, I am going to be dissecting the games and like dissecting the opposing the Pokemon, purely because it's like You actually need to have like these games be dissected and actually look at them, because when people complain about the difficulty of Pokemon games, you're comparing when you didn't know how to play these games and when Game Freak was making huge issues with level caps because like the sudden 10, 20 level spikes randomly in the games, comparing that to games where you now understand how you are playing and games where those level spikes have been almost completely removed. You know, you're comparing two completely different things. You're fighting at an even level in one game with a high level of understanding of how the games work. At the same time, you are comparing to a game where a huge level gap exists and you had almost no idea of how to actually play. Honestly, I love singles because I love sweeping teams. I don't like stall, but I feel like I have to use one Pokemon that stalls and need to waste a Pokemon to the counter stall. Fair enough. For some reason, I got worse than Pokemon used to be. It. See, that's a bit of a weird thing. That's a bit strange. That I do wonder if maybe you're like looking at yourself, like looking at the way you play a bit more, because when you're younger, like most people like over level their Pokemon to freaking insanity, and having like a starter that is like 10 levels above everything else because like they're only using their starter, and so they just breeze right through the games, as opposed to now where okay, I'm actually leveling up my entire team. It could be something like that. It's like, which is one of the reasons why when I look at that, when I'm doing that analysis, I'm actually removing that from the table. I am actually removing like the whole idea of over leveling and level gaps from the table, period, because that is a huge problem. It actually completely skews and destroys any validity to any side of things when, oh well, this game's harder because I fought because you fight them 10 levels under. No, you do not fight them 10 levels under. You consciously chose to not level train to be even leveled. That is not a game thing. That is a you made a conscious decision. And one of the comments I'm going to be making in like with regards to Hoenn is one that I'm extremely proud of, but I know it's gonna piss a huge amount of people off. It was something like this, like people who say like Hoenn is the hardest and use Blaziken are like the people who play Johto and pick Chikorita. You are using a starter which is by pure typing so horribly suited to the game that to say, well, it's hard because, I use this starter, that's a completely invalid way of looking at the game. You are deliberately, or maybe unknowingly, using a Pokemon that is extremely poorly suited for the game from a pure type perspective. You are essentially giving yourself the hardest matchup possible because you either don't know or that is your point. You are intentionally trying to go with the, most difficult matchup for you. It holds zero validity. And it's one of the reasons why, like, when people say, oh, I don't like how easy the Pokemon games have gotten, it's like, the games haven't actually gotten any easier. It's just you've gotten better. Hey, we have someone lurking, and hello, Sound Room, glad to see you here. How are you doing, my good friend? Hey, Silva, you lurking. Glad to see you lurking. Again, as I said earlier, anyone who, wants to get in on the giveaway, they can just, punch in the code. The code is at the top of the screen, and also it is, pinned in the chat. You can punch in the code, and you, of course, will be given, Pokemon from this, and, of course, any Pokemon from this, you can get as many as you want. They're competitive prep giveaway. It's basically stuff holding bottle caps, holding ability patches with, high IVs, with egg moves. Basically just everything you people need to basically get started for battling stuff. I think the starters should matter if more than one of them have met it. Well, the thing is, the starters have a huge influence on the reason why is because I actually say in the video when I'm actually shipping this out is I actually say we are not considering experience difficulty, whereas experience difficulty is the amount of difficulty a player has with a game due to their team choices, so like the Pokemon they choose to use, as well as the difficulty experienced from, say, maybe getting a poor nature on a certain Pokemon. We are excluding that entirely because that is prone to extreme fluctuation based on not even just the individual game, but just the individual playthrough file. Because, 10 people can pick the same starter, pick the same, team of 6 Pokemon using in the end game, but their natures and just the way that they TM them and just, how EVs work out and just, say how, crits go, damage rolls go, they will have wildly different stat spreads. Like, their stat spreads will be significantly different. And, some might have, a beneficial nature, which allows them to outspeed something they otherwise normally wouldn't, or something that should outspeed something now underspeeds another because, well, you just have a bad speed nature. And because of that matchup, you might lose, a couple of battles because you're going up against, say, the champion, and you can't outspeed their ace, whereas, when you have a Pokemon that naturally has a higher speed, but because it has a nature that's lower speed, that completely screws everything. Whereas you could have another file where you have Pokemon that is naturally a lower base speed than, that ace, but because of natures, because of IVs, because of EVs, the way things work out gives you a better speed stat and allows you to beat them. That experience difficulty is going to fluctuate hugely between the two games. And it's one of the reasons why I say you have to ignore that. Because no two playthroughs are going to be the same. You can have a huge amount of difficulty in one playthrough, but the next, it could be the same thing, can completely go differently. And you can't rely on that because just the individual playthroughs do not matter. What goes by is the stats, typings, and the hard numbers. Because the hard numbers are the only thing that is consistent. And the only way to really analyze things and have a definitive answer is you have to use hard numbers, you have to use things that are immutable. I mean, we all hate fear, but I would be very much interested to know why you in particular hate them, Luke. I know why I hate them. I mean, I hate them for the same reason I hate stall. It's just, you're not actually playing, you're just clicking the same buttons over and over again. There's another Amara. When I was actually breeding all these Pokemon for just getting this ready for the stream, I actually half joked to myself in the same way I joked before the gave the shiny Reshiram. I wonder how many shinies I'm gonna get in preparing for this thing. And surprisingly, I actually didn't get any shinies from this, because I had to breed about 100, almost 120 Pokemon for this thing. I mean, the way stall works is you set up, like, entry hazards, you set up toxic, and you just recover and protect stall. That's stall. Stalling is allowing residual damage. Excuse me. Stall is residual damage gets you your kills, or residual damage is how you apply your damage. Whereas actual battling is actually using moves against the other trainers, not just status damage rack up. I don't care for stall teams. I actually outright despise them. It's kind of a weird thing where it's like, I don't generally say, I don't generally like to say if you're doing a certain thing, you're just playing wrong. But when it comes to stall and it comes to Pokemon in particular, I will say if you are doing a stall team, like, you are no, just no. Like, you're doing something wrong. Like, you're just not having fun. Like, you're not battling, you're just clicking buttons. You're just clicking the same button, you're not reacting, you're not engaging in a thinking match with the other player. It's not only as a brain-dead strategy, it makes people think they're so good just because they use garbage gimmick Pokemon, which is... Yeah, it actually is exactly the same thing. And, Luke, when we get to the Blaziken thing, like, we get the thing about Hoenn, like, I'll explain in the video why specifically is. It's because you have to keep levels equal. And that actually matters a huge amount when it comes to a match flipping, because you gain one more level than the opposing trainer. Well, now you overlevel them to beat them. You have to overlevel to gain an advantage, which means if you face them at even level, which is the only way to actually, like, truly gauge things, is keeping everything equal, then you're at a negative matchup, which is the point. I am not looking forward to making that video, because it's gonna be like 4 hours, probably. Have you ever played with a stall team versus team designed to break them? It's extremely difficult to win in some... Well, yeah, but see, at the same time, you're saying, you know, here's a team that is designed to be a stall team versus a team that is literally designed to counter stall in every possible way. You're essentially comparing a team to its exact opposite. Whereas if you look at a general team, you know, not a team target designed to destroy you, you know, not a targeted design team to destroy you. That's my point, is if you are looking at a team that is... Screw off, Ewan. Screw off. I love it. But yeah, but it's like, if you are deliberately saying, well, you have to engage in a team when it is designed to counter you, well, you're comparing a team that is literally designed to destroy a stall team when using a stall team, not a general any other team, which is the vast majority of them. Not when stall is basically set up Toxic, set up, you know, Stealth Rocks, and basically just wait the damage out. That's pretty much as brain dead as it gets. That's pretty much as brain dead as it gets. Just, okay, set up Toxic, set up Stealth Rocks, set up my entry hazards, and now just wait for the health to run out. That's pretty much, I would say, brain dead. I would pretty much say that's brain dead. It's not, are they going to be switching this thing to outspeed me and then destroy me with this thing because it is a scarf or a band? No, I just have to wait turns out. It's just waiting out turns, which is my point. My point is that when it comes to stall, you're waiting out turns, and you're not using attacking moves. Predominantly, you're using residual damage rack up from percentage-based things like Stealth Rocks, like Toxic, like, you know, Weather, or like Seismic Toss. You're using set damage numbers to beat them rather than outright engaging in a more head-to-head battle of out-damage through turns. You out-damage through status rack-up, is my point. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. You saying that, but those are two main stall tactics. And as I've mentioned before, like, stall pretty much permeates every aspect of singles. most teams in singles, even those not dedicated into being stall, do still include many stall elements. So one of the reasons why I have a very low opinion of singles. But you said engaging it's a Pokemon battle and in a battle game isn't itself. What I said is you're just clicking buttons to do set damage. You're not reacting as much when you're doing a stall team and you're going against a non-stall breaker team, which is the only thing designed to counteract stall intrinsically. Against most teams, stall can do the exact same things. They use the exact same playbook to do the exact same things. They set up the same exact moves in the exact same order, and unless you are going up against a stall breaker team, or a team that is deliberately designed to counteract every single one of stall's, intrinsic elements. That's the only way to directly get a stall team to engage in a head-to-head fight is to deliberately thwart every single aspect of what makes a stall team. So essentially, the way to make a stall team not behave like a stall team is you have to use a stall breaker team and to deliberately prevent everything from stall from being used. So again, that's one of the reasons why I say, again, excluding a stall breaker team, because to compare, in a stall against a stall breaker team, they have to engage. You're comparing a thing that is deliberately designed to force these teams to do the one thing that they're not built to do, which just further proves the point of these are things they're not built to do. Jeez, that actually murdered my throat right there. It's like, it forces them to do the one thing they're not normally meant to do. Which, if anything, reserves this is not what they do. So, they rely on those other forms of things to do actual things. They rely on percentage-based damage. They rely on, waiting a clock out. Designed to do what it does, just like every other team. Well, yes, I'm aware, but when it comes to stall, you don't need to react as much. When it comes to stall, it is extremely easy to just not change anything. You don't have to change and modify the way in which you go about battling, because you're not doing damage based on typing. You're not doing damage based on type matchups or speed for the most part. You're doing damage based on end of turn side effects and out healing while using secondary methods of doing damage. You're not brute force attacking them, which is my point, is that you can largely ignore head-to-head matchups. So that every other team is that it doesn't make stall brainless. Having more patience really isn't a thing. Having patience really doesn't go into the brain or not nature. I mean, again, it is stall or is it not? Just use residual damage to beat teams. When it comes to stall, is stall not pretty much set up toxic, set up entry hazards, and then just wait out turns? That is largely what stall is. It's not every turn needed to consider, are they going to switch out, their attacker or this thing into, are they going to call, I'm going to attack them with, this weakness exploit move, and they're going to switch into a resist or an immunity. You don't have to do things like, I'm going to be using my Conkeldur's, close combat on their, Tyranitar, when they have a ghost type where they can just switch to. You don't need to really consider those kinds of things. You don't need to consider really tight matchups and damage numbers that much. That's one of the things that a lot of other teams need to consider is damage calculations, speed tiers. Where it comes to stall teams, those kinds of things simply don't apply. You know, when you're doing, say, at the end of every turn, 12 or something % of their health every single turn, that becomes a game of not really predicting what they're gonna do. That becomes a game of, I just need to survive, 6 turns, and then they're dead. Which is what I said. Hidden powers. Well, I mean, Breloom has, like, garbage special attack as the thing. I've played Stall for years, and I know how. Well, yeah, again, but you're also someone who plays... you're someone who specifically plays that kind of style. You don't have the same kind of level of engagement. Like, you don't have the same level of engagement because you don't have to consider, are they going to switch to this thing to have an immunity, like, oh, Technician, okay. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's non-stab, and it's really not that much of a special attacker. I think that's pretty reasonable that a Ferrothorn could survive a hidden power fire from Breloom. I think that's pretty reasonable. Stall has ways to sweep. It's not just it sits there and recover, for instance, Iron Defense, Body Press. Well, yeah, but even then, Body Press, Iron Defense. That's still spending several turns stalling out and building up turns to do for it. Yeah, like Body Press definitely did make, stall teams a bit more aggressive. But that is one thing when you have things like, Blissey, Snorlax, Chansey, where they do like Seismic Toss, or like, Clefable, where they just do like Seismic Toss, Toxic. They do things where they're not doing damage calculation numbers. They're doing predominantly set damage, which is my point. Has effectively a better... Well, yeah, but even Garchomp Flamethrowers aren't really that strong. Like, Garchomp Flamethrowers really aren't that strong. And I think that Flamethrower's a base 95 power, not base 90. But actually, like, what is Breloom's special attack, actually? Breloom stats. So I'm pretty sure Garchomp has, like, yeah, exactly. Like, Luke Chang exactly says is pretty much what I was, that all it does is make you do more, it just allows you to be aggressive with the stall tactics. It allows you to do damage with the already stall tactics they are. Really? Well, yeah, but again, it's still doing the same things. It's still just setting up with defensive boosts. Yeah, Calm Mind or Cosmic Powers, set up Clefable, that's definitely a thing that's on, those teams. But intrinsically, the point of it is to boost its stats, especially speaking, to a ridiculously high degree, so you can't damage through its bulk. The boost, that's one reason why they also use Cosmic Power. It's the same thing essentially as, what Klefki does. Yes, it allows you to be more aggressive, but intrinsically, it's still there to make it harder to kill through pure defenses. Okay, yeah, with specs, yeah. But I do actually wonder now, what is Breloom's actual special attack base? I know it's, like, really terrible. 60, okay. Okay, let's see, so Breloom's maximized special attack is 240. Let's look at Garchomp's. Garchomp stats. So I actually very much like this. I'm just trying to find it. I mean, at the same time, you're also someone who does, like, you do play stall. Like, so that's one of the things. Like, it is not brainless. However, it is not as much interaction. Yeah, it does actually have a higher special attack. It does have a higher special attack. Really? Huh, I thought Garchomp had... Oh, right, it's 85 special defense, not special attack, right, because it has the same special attack as Flygon. That's what it is. Yeah, I mean, even Garchomp Flamethrowers aren't really super strong. You know, it's not super strong, but I mean, I guess it is a bit weird that it really doesn't do all that much. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a bit weird. That's a bit weird that it really can't. I mean, again, Ferrothorn is ridiculously bulky. Ferrothorn can survive like even stab fire moves from like decently moderate special attackers. It's just a freaking freight train of bulk. I love it. What is it? They nerfed Flamethrower. I didn't think they did. Huh. I know that they nerfed like some moves, but I didn't think they nerfed that one. Oh yeah, base 90. Huh. Odd. How odd. I mean, that's weird. That's very weird. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's what a lot of Ferrothorn used to run, was like max special defense, because before Body Press existed, special defense was kind of the better thing to run, because there are more special attack, or like more things will have access to special attacks than physical. Because like, that's something that I actually like looked into a long time ago, was actually like look at like, are physical or special attackers better? And pretty much it's, I mean, the reason I like Ferrothorn, the reason why I like Ferrothorn is because it's a steel type, and I actually use a very aggressive Ferrothorn. I use an aggressive Ferrothorn. Yeah, it is. It did lose power in Generation 6. But someone who has played Stall for years could 6-0 Stall teams with because... Well, yeah, but again, you're using specific things to... The reason why is that you know specifically how to target and destroy a Stall team's methods of doing damage. You know, you essentially know how to destroy a Stall team by preventing them from doing what a Stall team is supposed to do. You know, that's not really the same kind of thing as, you know, it's possibly done with anything, because you have extremely in-depth knowledge of how it works. You know specifically how to target and how to destroy it, because you know specifically what kinds of things it has to do and why they have to do those things. You know, it's essentially, you know how to destroy them because you use them yourself. It's not really the same kind of thing as, you know, anyone being able to do it, because they don't know the specific idiosyncrasies. Yeah, like, yeah, the other part also is that Stall teams do a very specific number of things. And again, that actually even just shows, like, you can, you know, destroy a Stall team because you know the only way for a Stall team to work is to do those things. You deny those things from being done, the Stall team completely falls apart. Which kind of goes to the comment I said before about that's kind of how they work. They work by a very specific thing, and if you prevent that very specific thing from happening, the Stall team just fails, because it can't do that specific thing, or those specific things. Is there grass surf? What? I'm not sure what you mean by is there grass surf. You mean like a grass type move that is equivalent to surf? I think that's Petal Blizzard. I think that's Petal Blizzard. Actually, let me look that up. I feel like that Petal Blizzard is the exact same thing as that. Petal Blizzard. Like, I'm actually a very big fan of, like, the clone moves. I like things like that. Because, like, I like the idea that, like, there's multiple moves that are the exact same thing in terms of their pure stats, but the only difference is typing, because it makes things more interesting, in my opinion. Let's see. Description. Let's see, Petal Blizzard is based on... Yep. Yep, Petal Blizzard is literally a grass... Actually, wait, is Surf base 90 power or base 95? Surf Pokemon. Because the server is base 95, that's not a clone. Nope, it is exactly, Petal Blizzard is exactly Grass Surf. It is exactly Grass Surf. No, it's Petal Blizzard. It is Petal Blizzard, because Energy Ball is 80 base power, not 90, I'm pretty sure. I think it's 90. I think it's 80 base power. But I know that Petal Blizzard is 90 base power, and hits both enemies, and also hits your ally in doubles. It has the exact same effect as Surf. And also Energy Ball drops your stats. It's not the same thing. I think Energy Ball is base 80. I think Energy Ball is base 80. I mean, no. Well, we also just said that the reason why is that that you can destroy them is because you specifically know how to beat them, because you know exactly what they have to do in order to win. You can specifically deny those things from being done, and therefore, because they can't do those things, the team falls apart. You know, they have a very narrow margin of things they can do. Yeah, you didn't know about Petal Blizzard's Sap Sipper song? You didn't know about that? That was actually kind of a thing that people did for a while, was they did Petal Blizzard Sap Sipper. It was kind of a thing. I mean, it wasn't a good thing, but it was a thing. It was nonetheless a thing that existed, and it was done. And things were done with it. It's not great, but it's a thing. Yep, Energy Ball is base 90. It is base 90, however, it also has a chance of dropping special defense, so it's not the same thing. Well, the reason why no one really uses Petal Blizzard is because it's... Yeah, the reason why is because there's not a whole lot of Sap Sipper Pokemon out there, and a lot of Sap Sipper Pokemon aren't really that great. Like, I know that, like, Drampa gets Sap Sipper. I know that, Drampa, Goodra, Azumarill, Bouffalant all get Sap Sipper. But, like, they're not really great Pokemon. They're decent-ish, but they're not, like, heavyweights. Yeah, Sap Sipper is a... I mean, you can mix it with... I mean, Sap Sipper honestly probably would be pretty dang good when you consider the fact that, like, Grassy Glide Rillaboom is on, like, every VGC team. Oh, don't even start with the Storm Drain Surf teams. Please don't give me those flashbacks. Please don't give me those flashbacks. Oh, I love those teams. I actually love them. It reminds me of my, like, Surf Aggron with Storm Drain Cradilly. I absolutely love those teams. They're so meme. They're meme, but, like, they're actually kind of legitimately solid. They're so good. I love them. They're so fun. They're so freaking fun. It's a shame that, like, there's no, like... It's kind of, like, you can't really do, like, that with Lightning Rod users, because, like, there's really... Because, like, really the only Pokemon that learn Discharge are electric types. And, like, very few things actually learn Discharge. No, you can't. Mirror Coat returns the damage done by the target, so all you'd be doing is just hitting your own Pokemon with Mirror Coat. All you'd be doing is just killing your own Pokemon song. Hey, McLean, glad to see you here. If you have Pokemon Shield and Sword, you can log on and connect to the internet and participate in the giveaway, where just type in the code, do link trade, and boom, you can get access to a free thing. Yeah, it is, but at the same time, that'd be ridiculously broken if it wasn't that way. I mean, imagine the kind of shenanigans people like you could get up to, Song. Imagine the kind of shenanigans. But I'm actually thinking closing down for the night soon, because we got a substantially smaller crowd than I was expecting, and we did not actually trade, like, basically anything. So... we barely traded anything. So we might actually, like, put this on the back burner. Oh my... You know what? You know what? The thing is, Sean, Song, I actually was using a weakness policy. Yeah, I saw the Venusaur skin in Unite. I have mixed feelings on it. I don't really like it that much. I'm not the biggest fan of it. But yeah, like weakness policy Groudon. Weakness policy Groudon is actually what I used to run when it came to my like initial VGC team with Groudon. I decided to take it off because like, you know what? It's just not working. It's just not good. Mostly because like, okay, I get eliminated by like a lot of things, but it's not terrible. It's fun. It's very fun. But yeah, again, anyone who wants to participate, link code pinned in chat. Also on the screen above the Bulbasaur. If you want to join in, you can punch in the code, and you'll be getting a Pokemon that has a gold bottle cap, ability capsule, or ability patch that is pre-bred for competitive battling. After all, I made this channel for many purposes, one of which was for competitive battling aiding. And I want to give you guys the tools you need to battle at your best. So, how is everyone's night doing? 'Cause I'm glad to see that we have people in the chat tonight. But we're probably gonna be ending this stream off soon. Mostly because, again, it's been going on for a while, and we haven't really gotten anywhere. So, I mean, I'm just kind of, like, beating up on, like, Tyrant right now, just for reasons. But, yeah. We're probably gonna go for another, maybe 15-20 minutes. Then, we're gonna go raiding. Ooh, there's some people who are actually going live right now. There's still some people who are live right now. Be back, get my charger from... Yay! Hey, we're getting someone else who's gonna be charging. Yay! When is the next... The next Nuzlocke stream is going to be likely tomorrow. Likely it will be tomorrow. Just, I'm really sorry I haven't actually been streaming a whole lot lately. It's just that there's been a lot of things going on in my personal life that just... They kind of curb stomped my energy IRL, and just I haven't had the energy to be streaming. Because, like, streaming legitimately takes a lot out of you. It legitimately is exhausting. It's one of the reasons why I considered, like, streaming earlier in the day, to that way I can, not sure about tomorrow morning. I don't think it would be tomorrow in the morning. It might be, like, more towards the afternoon. It will be probably more towards the afternoon than anything, because in the morning I have to use the Sawzall to cut down the remaining branches of this tree in the backyard. I have to go jogging. I have to do housework around the house, as usual. And I will do those in the morning, go jogging. Yeah, like, it is literally like talk for 200... And the reason why, the thing that makes it more exhausting than just, like, recording my Let's Play series is that when it comes to Let's Play series, like, when I do, the Metroid stuff, when it comes to the Metroid, I edit out a lot of just blank space in the Metroid series. When I'm traversing over areas I've already gone over, I cut that out. When it comes to, like, you'll be seeing a bit in the Fossil Fighters Champions series I'm working on right now. Like, I have notes written down about, the different Vivisaurs, about, different battles I can comment on, and just things like that. Like, there are things that I can actively talk about and do in preparation for the videos, so I don't need to constantly, like, think of what to do, because when I'm streaming and I'm talking, I have to think what I am talking about right now. I actually have not played Metroid Dread yet, so do not spoil it or I will hunt you down, Song. I will hunt you down. But it's like, when it comes to, like, streaming, you have to be thinking about what you're saying right now, what you're doing on screen, and what you're going to be doing in, like, a minute from right now. Yes, I did the end battle in Black 2 and White 2. You can actually find that in my Black 2 and White 2 series, which is on the channel. You can go watch that, you can find that. I love those battles. Those were awesome. But yeah, it's like, it is extremely exhausting to stream. It's fun. I love doing it, but it is extremely exhausting. But like that's one of the reasons like I kind of prefer like recorded series, because I can take them at a much more leisurely pace. And well, you actually survive that. Like I can take them at a much more leisurely pace, my own pace. I can take them just a lot easier, and it's not as just exhausting. Like I can and I have, even like games that I've been playing blind, I can and have recorded for like 4-5 hours near straight, and I'm just like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do more. And I am overjoyed to keep doing that. But when it comes to streaming, if I stream for like 2 hours, I am freaking wiped out. Like most of the time when I go streaming, I just pretty much go to bed right after. Like I drag myself into bed, face plant onto the pillow, and I'm out. Keep in mind, I have a horrible case of insomnia, and I have a hard time falling asleep normally. So yeah, it really exhausts you. And I'm okay with that. Like, I am very, very much okay with that. Well, it really depends on, like, what you're actually streaming. If you're doing that for 10 hours, like, if you're doing pretty much just, like, Masuda method hunt, like, you're, like, doing Pokemon battles and, like, Dynamax adventures for, like, 10 hours, and, you know, you're playing and conversing with viewers for the entire time of it, you know, that's not that mentally exhausting, in my opinion. You know, that's really not that mentally exhausting because you're constantly engaged with someone else, and you don't need to think, you know, 10 steps ahead, and think 9 steps ahead, 8, 7, you don't need to constantly think, you know, 10 steps ahead, and think just like a billion different things, you know, what are you going to be doing, focus on what you're doing right now. You can take things more leisurely. Like, if things are not as fast-paced and they're much more laid back, you can much more easily do that for, like, 10 hours. Like, I can and I have, you know, played, like, Dynamax Adventures in preparation for this, like, all day, for multiple days. And easily, I could have streamed those. I could have very easily streamed all those and just made those a stream, and boom, we're good. But I didn't because, well, that would kind of spoil that. But at the same time, it probably would have been better to have do that because then people would actually probably shown up here had I done that. But hey, can't change the past. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's doable depending on the kind of game. Like, I would say definitely depending on the kind of game, it is easily doable. But if you're doing, say, like a very mentally intensive game, then no, it would completely wipe me out. You know, but like Pokemon, like when it comes to Pokemon, I just gotta like go do something real quick. Actually, when it comes to Pokemon, like I live and breathe Pokemon. You know, I like unconsciously when I am exhausted, like I can still rattle off competitive Pokemon things like nothing. And it's because I've just immersed myself so much, it is like all that I am. Whereas when it comes to like some other games, it wouldn't really do the same thing. You know, if it's something much more laid back, you know, again, if it's something like, you know, doing Dynamax Adventures, if it's like doing, say, something more slow-paced, say, you know, again, like Pokemon things. But if it's something like, say, you know, Pokemon Unite, doing that for like 2 hours freaking would wreck me. Like, I would be a puddle of goo on the floor if I did that for more than 2 hours. There we go. Again, if anyone wants to, join in, be the next person to receive the giveaway things, of course, code is always there. I drink cat. Oh, McLean, you are an absolute hero. You are an absolute hero, my good sir. But yeah, in about 5 minutes, we're probably going to be cutting an end off here and going on a raid. Because raids are always fun. I'll be looking for victims of our mechanized Maxis raid. Who are we? We're gonna raid. Gotta figure out who we're gonna do. We could go risky. We could raid risky. We could also go Papa Agron. We have not done this person before. That's a good one. That's an amazing one, Luke. I respect that one. Why the heck is why the heck is there that? Why the heck does someone upload a video of Metroplex for Transformers 3 months ago? Oh, we're getting raided. The tactical Leiron. Hey, Nintendo. Wow. Why is the thing not? Oh, okay. So my was like, and we're Nintendo. Hey, Nintendo. We're actually doing very well. How did you find us? And thank you very much. Let me go grab your link. Again, thank you for the raid. So what were you doing? So what were you doing over there? Thank you very much for the raid. I will grab your link. We are doing a giveaway for... Pokemon... Oh, giveaway of, Pokemon stuff in Pokemon Shield and Sword. They are the Pokemon that I've bred and given items for competitive battling myself. So again, thank you very much for that. We were doing some shiny hunts, doing Dynamax Adventures. Very nice. Looking for that shiny Xerneas. Yeah, Xerneas is a Pokemon that gives me PTSD. That's because of Ultra Series, which you can tell from my Ultra Series battle video. But, did you get it? How many battles did you do? And thank you very much, Jill, for the subscription. We do mostly, we do a lot of Nintendo stuff around here. We do mostly Pokemon themed. We're starting to branch out into a lot of other stuff. Like, we have Metroid stuff that we're doing. We have, Shovel Knight stuff we've been doing recently. We recently did an entire series on Fossil Fighters, and we're doing a follow-up to the Fossil Fighters thing. But again, thank you all for showing up. 2 subs away from 250. Yeah, you guys, show... Yeah, 2 subs away from 250. I know, it's a painful thing, because I know that the second I get to 250, they're gonna purge me. They are going to purge me when I get to 250, and I'm gonna drop 6 subs, because when I got to, I think it was 200, they took 7 of them away from me. And I was super dang salty. It was come on, I lost 7 of them. I lost 7. Yeah, and again, thank you for the help. The help matters so much. Getting raided, it really just brings so much joy to my heart when I get raided by you guys. It's just, it really just makes me feel great. It's just I feel like a part of the community so much more when it happens. I'm doing the trade thing. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, that's actually 90% of the reason why I did the whole giveaway thing, McLean, is because I know how to get these things. I know how to get the stuff chain bred and everything like that to do that. But the thing is, I know that stupid nonsense takes 3 hours to do in some cases. And I don't want to make you guys have to go through all of that nonsense yourself when you might not want to do this. So it's basically giving you guys an easy access window to these sorts of things to experiment. And do we not have... Oh. I am such an idiot, Box. I didn't have the link code up for the most of the time. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. How did I not realize I didn't set it up? How did I not realize that? How did I not realize that? I am so stupid. I'll give you this one. I'll give you the one with the gold bottle cap. Thank you very much. Again, if anyone you guys wants more, if any of you guys want more, again, you can go back in, do your thing, as long as I remember to actually reset the code. It was like, I know you said you were going to do things. It's like, why is that ready? It's like, oh, I didn't have the thing set up. I'm such an idiot. Again, thank you, Nintendo. But, we may be going on our own raid, actually, very soon. Thank you very much for the trade. Again, if anyone wants, to do another trade, you can just punch in the code. Sure, I'll take a lead card. I always like taking my friend. Always like to see the lead cards. I am gonna miss when I eventually restart this game. I'm gonna lose all the league cards that I've collected, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be sad because it's like, you know what? I get to collect a whole bunch of new league cards. There we go. Trade request. But yeah, so what are you guys gonna do later? Because like I'm glad to see that you guys came here. It means so much. But yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be raid time. Does anyone have a shiny Talonflame? Actually, I will have a shiny Talonflame soon, potentially. Potentially, I will actually have one. Because we're gonna be doing a shiny giveaway at some point soon. Main reason, I have a whole bunch of stuff in Pokemon Go that I just don't care for. And, yeah, I don't really care for shinies. And it was like, you know what? You guys can have them. Run from the Shuckle, because I don't want to fight them. And where is another tyrant? Where is another tyrant? Where is another tyrant? There's one. Let's beat the tyrant. Let's beat up the little tyrant. Oh, I like tyrant. I'm not a fan of Kalos. However, I will say that Kalos does have probably the best pair of fossils. Well, look at that, he's pinging me. Tank, what is so important? Yes, that is actually a very important thing to ping me about while I'm streaming. That is a very important thing to ping me about. This is worthy of stream interruption. We gained once. My first Talonflame at XY was an OP Gale Wings Talonflame. How did you get a Gale Wings Talonflame in? Oh, was it competitive? Was it for competitive or was it for like story playthrough? Because I don't think you can get a Gale Wings Talonflame in a story playthrough. I could be wrong about that. But I mean, I've only ever played X and Y once, and I feel that when I replay them for the Let's Play series, that is going to have been 2 times too many I have to play them. One of the things that any of you who are new here will learn is I rail on Gen 6. Like, railing on Gen 6 is, for me, what Gen 1ers' worship of Gen 1 is for them. It is, like, a huge component of what I do, is just railing Gen 6. Because I think Gen 6 is crap. I think it's crap. Because I consider X and Y and ORAS to be two separate things. I consider ORAS to be a precursor to Gen 7. I consider it more in line with Gen 7 in just the way the game is made and like the way that the attention to the game is. Whereas I consider X and Y to just be Gen 6. Because ORAS is so much better. Which is funny. Because it integrated megas better than the game whose whole purpose was to integrate megas. I don't get it. I don't get how you can be that terrible with how you write the story. That is a story that existed prior. Could do that better. Yeah, here, have a gold bottle, Cappy boy. Have a gold bottle of Gigalith! I love Gigalith. I love Gigalith. Such a great Pokemon. Such a great Pokemon. Legitimately, I love a lot of Gen 5 Pokemon. But Gigalith is the best. Gigalith is by far the best. So good. Such a great boy. Such a great boy. But with that, I think it's time we go raiding. And again, thank you once again to Nintenjon for his support. Always love seeing the raids. Always love seeing it. Beetle. Ooh, Beetle. We could do Beetle. We could do Beacon. We could very much do Beacon. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think we could go do. I think we could actually go do like raid Beacon, because it's been a while since we've raided Beacon of Nick, and I actually haven't been appearing in any of his streams. So you know what? We're gonna raid Beacon of Nick because I need to show this man the love he deserves, because he's a great guy. I mean, Zoroark is also a good one. Zoroark is also a good one. But it's no Gigalith. I mean, Archeops is also great, but we're going to go raid Beacon of Nick with our usual mechanized Maxis raid support to my good friend Beacon of Nick. Hope to see you all over there. And have a good night, my friends. Thank you very much for making this giveaway very good. Cap Zoroark. You guys are glorious. You guys are absolutely glorious.